position so that we can get started. I'm just trying to get it to sit right. There we go. I think we're good. No, I'm so crooked. Oh my goodness. I don't know why that is happening, but let me just get that sitting a little bit better. Well, I think that's as straight as she's gonna want to get today. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. If you're here, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope you had a wonderful week. We're not discussing mine today because it was not that great. Um, but what let me know what the best thing that happened was this week. There we go. Let's open it to there. So what I am wanting to work with today is with the 18th century French court paper doll. And she is available in my Ko-fi shop uh, and in my Etsy shop as well, of course. So I want to build the doll, do a background, and put it into my big journal that I worked in last week as well when I did the ballerina dreams, and I also put the belly band in here in one of my other videos. So that is what I want to do. Um, the first thing I want to do, I started cutting a little bit just while I was waiting for 7 o'clock to roll around, but I'm going to put this aside right now. I want to first show you what I am going to be working with. So I'm working with the paper doll. I am working with, I'm actually somewhat organized. I'm working with some burgundy and I am working with cream. I have paints and I have gold paint. I have a claret, which is very, very deep burgundy. I have a gold, this is both paper artsy paint. I am going to use some wax seals, texture paste. I am going to use a little bit of everything. So I hope you'll get something out of it. And then I will be building the doll while the paint is drying because I don't want to mess with wet paint. The paper that I'm going to be using to paint on is rice paper because it is actually surprisingly strong and I think it'll hold up really nicely with the paint. And it will glue very nice into my album too. I don't want to make the album extremely heavy, so that's why I'm working with a little bit of lighter paper. So I think that is where I need to start. I need to start by painting my background. And I'm going to cut this piece. It's a huge piece of rice paper. And I'm just tearing it in half. And I will have to see how much I am actually going to need. I'll probably need both of the sides for each side of the page. I want to make it a double spread. I hope I have enough paint. If not, I'm going to have to go to a different color. So all I'm going to do is I'm just wonder. Oh, I was wondering if I had my brayer here because that would be even better to use. because then you get a little bit of texture too. Now you see, this is what happens when you're using rice paper, so maybe the brayer won't work all that well, but we'll find out. No, I'm going to have to use a brush because it is just soaking through just a little bit too much. Let's just get as much off the brayer as possible. So again, I am opening the floor up to everybody. Let me know what the best thing was that happened to you today. And of course, if you are watching on your TV, I am aware that you cannot respond. So I am just going to say hi. I am going to think that Nancy, you're here. Nancy is usually here. So I just want to say hi to her and to everybody else who is joining me today. I've actually been looking forward to today's project a lot. The brayer is not going to work. That is going to just make a huge mess. So I'm going with a paintbrush. There we go. I actually have some paint now. And I have to paint both of the sheets anyway, so it doesn't matter if I have a little bit much, it will get used up. And I'm hoping that the rice paper does everything that I am wanting it to do. I did test the technique that I want to use yesterday, but I didn't do it on rice paper, of course, because that would be making way too much sense. I tested it on regular paper. All right. Sorry, I'm quiet. I actually don't have a lot to chat about today. Like I said, I had a crappy week and I need to be careful because I don't want to rip this all over the place. Just a little bit more. And of course, because I'm making the rice paper wet, that is why it is starting to rip. But I like the texture of it too, so that's another reason why I'm using the rice paper. Let's see if I have enough. Yes, that's enough on that one. So then I'll take the second one. Well, that's all the paint I have. So I'm going to maybe have to dilute it a little bit. Thankfully, I don't need any more after I finish with this, but I do need to have enough so that I have a full background. And you can see I'm not taking overly care on where I'm painting. I am just getting the paint onto the paper. Oh, and there it goes. It's starting to tear. Because I'm being rough and that's why it's tearing. That's okay. I can fix all of that when I'm gluing it down to the page. There. I think I have enough. Oops. Just want to make sure there's no white spots where I know for sure I'm going to need the paper. Okay. So I'm going to put this one aside too and let it dry. There we go. That is all I needed to do for now for painting. So while that is drying, I am going to wipe my fingers off because I got paint on my fingers, and I'm just going to wipe the paint off here so I'm not making a giant mess on the paper dolls either, or on the paper doll. Okay, so I need to cut all the pieces and build the foundation. So the foundation is built out of the doll, of course, and it is a courtier. She is not Marie Antoinette. The panniers are not wide enough to be Marie Antoinette, but I am going to shape everything. I want this doll to have some shape on the under the dress, so that when the dress goes or the gown goes over, then there will be volume to it. So that is what I'm going to try and achieve. So I'm just cutting the pannier because the pannier is the very first thing that you put on. I am not overly concerned about all the ties and everything because, well, it just isn't. So these are going to go over top of petticoat number 1. And I have my new scissors, and it's actually like really helpful. My hand doesn't hurt. I can do all the fussy cutting in the world, and I'm going to be doing a lot of fussy cutting this weekend. You guys will find out on Monday why I am doing all the fussy cutting. But yeah, I have a massive project with a lot of fussy cutting happening, and so I'm happy that I have scissors now that are working. So this one I don't have to shape. I can put this one right here, and then I can put the pannier right here over top. That is how that goes. After that, we are, oh, wait a minute. I think this one also goes underneath. Like, she wears so many petticoats, it's actually disturbing. I may not put all of them on, but yeah, she wears 3 petticoats and then a decorative petticoat. So we have the first petticoat, then the second petticoat goes over top of that, like that. Then the pannier goes on. Could you imagine though having to dress like that every day? Then the pannier goes on, and then we are putting this petticoat over top. Like, I couldn't imagine having to put all these layers of clothing on all the time. When sun or shine, or rain or shine, um, because it was improper to not be dressed properly. And the link to my coffee shop is in the description. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. Yeah, it is in the description, and or is it not? Let me find the link to everything. Just a second. I'll put it in there. I will find it for you. I don't want you to not have the link, because it's way more fun if you can play along than if you can't. And I apologize. I thought it was good to go. So let's have to grab the link, and then I'll put it in the chat. Oh, come on. There we go. When you're trying to get something quickly, it never goes that quick. There we go. And I'll put it in the chat. Hi, Lisa. All right, there's the link to the 18th century court dolls, French court dolls, actually. And like I said, it is not Marie Antoinette. It is one of the courtiers, because it was how wide your panniers were allowed to be made, depended on where your status was. Hi, Sherry. Okay. So this should go over top of this. And of course it does not. But we're going to pretend that it does. I am not going to mess with it. And the dress that I picked to go over, that will work. So that's all good. I do need the petticoat though, so that's why. I do need all these petticoats. I have a smaller setup. You know what? I am doing this totally wrong. Yes, this one goes over top here. I have the other little panniers with the waist strap, and they would go underneath here. That would protect your hips from the cage. This is the cage, and then this would go over top. And for some reason, I did not make that wide enough, so but by the time the doll is totally assembled, you won't be able to tell. There we go. I learned how to properly cut this from Louisa Heinzel. So you put your scissors kind of almost at a horizontal, and then you can see where you're cutting, and you have all the control in the world. Go along the lace here and back up to the shoulders. There we go. I was hoping to have this all done before I had to start the live, but I just didn't get there, so that's why I have to do it right now, which is okay because I have to wait for the paper to dry anyway. There. And I'm going to need the headpiece. I'm not going to cut that out yet. And I'm going to need the shoes. There we go. And the rest can just go in my little scrap bin because I make little snippets out of the leftover paper. Because this is photo paper, I use 66-pound photo paper. I'm pretty sure that's what it says on the package, that is 66-pound matte photo paper. I need to ink a little bit, and I'm going to use antique linen because I don't want to make it vintagey looking. I want it to look where do you think I would have put my antique linen dauber? There we go. So I'm just going to quickly ink all of this. And I know I don't have to because all of this is going to be layered on top of each other, but I still want to because it makes me feel better. So, what happened this week that made you smile? I want to know. I had something big happen last night that made me smile. I had an absolutely horrific day yesterday, personal reasons, and then this beautiful lady posted her or sent me pictures of her paper dolls, how she has designed them, and I thought, like, they're just the regular paper dolls that I've been making, but then the spread that she created with it, and it is so beautiful. And I shared it on my on the community page and also on my Facebook page. So I hope you're going to go check it out. Her name is Becky Ann, and she made some beautiful spreads, and it just absolutely made my day, made me smile. Um, you know, it was lovely. So, Becky Ann, if you're watching, thank you very much for that. The other thing I want to do is I am going to, do you see how right here there is you have the two sides of the gown, and then the decorate, or sorry, the decorative petticoat is under there. Well, I'm going to cut it out because I don't want to use this one. I want to use I want to use this one. And I have a reason for that. So all I'm doing is I'm just cutting this out like this. There we go. So now I have the gown, and you can see her legs through. So the gown, I'm also going to just quickly ink with vintage, or not vintage photo, antique linen. I'm sorry. It's not vintage photo, definitely not. And the reason that I'm inking is because I just don't want the white edges of the paper to be visible. So that's why I'm just giving it that bit of ink, and it hides pretty much whatever I want to have hidden. There. Put that aside. Okay, now let's see how we can assemble that. So, which one had I decided was the base one? Probably, I don't remember. I'll put this one. That's the plainest. So I'm going to grab some glue and some ink because I didn't ink around the doll yet. So I can't glue anything on there until I have inked around her. I don't have to ink around her legs very much because she is definitely mostly going to be hidden. But I do need to ink around her head and her shoulders and her hands. And the antique linen just kind of makes all the white just disappear, and it blends it right in. Okay, petticoat. Petticoat number 1. So this one is just going to go flat down. And my glue is once again not cooperating with me. There we go. And you might think, like, why are you making all the petticoats and everything? Well, because I wanted something that was actually historically correct. That's really what I wanted to create, was historically correct paper dress gowns. So I did all the research and I found all the images of the gowns and then recreated them. So it's all based on real 18th century gowns. There. So we have 2 sets of petticoats. Then I'm going to put this on here. It goes under her hands. There we go. Like that. So building the doll is going to be just part of this. I want to take you on a bit of a journey to the Loire Valley in France, where all the chateaus are, and I want to create a page that could be pretty much a boudoir in one of those chateaus. Okay, so I'm at this petticoat. The panier is sitting, that's fine. And then I want to put lace all the way along so that instead of having just the paper petticoat, we're actually going to show some lace through. So I'm just going to start right here at the bottom, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I could probably use 3-in-1 glue because it'll sit a little it'll hold a little faster. So keep that one there, and I'm grabbing my 3-in-1 glue And I'm just going to put it upside down for a moment. And we'll measure the next piece of lace. Right there. Grab 3 and 1. And we'll just go kind of along with the curve of the bottom one. We'll put another strip of glue. And stick that right in there. Take the next one. So I think you're getting the idea. I think I'm just putting lots of lace on here. And I think it'll give it way more of a voluminous. Some words are difficult. Voluminous gown. Hi, Corey. I saw you. I was just struggling with my words. Oh, I need to cut the lace first before I can put the glue on. So I need about that much. Probably way less than that. There. And another one. We're just layering the lace on. Like, you know, lace just grows on trees. You would wear that petticoat as a skirt. Yeah, I would too. Because this is way too many layers of clothing. But they did not. And it's definitely, I had this idea of doing this, and I thought, well, if I am going to build this, I may as well do it live and have everybody get their 2 cents worth. There. And the idea with the dolls is, you know, like they're beautiful as they are, but how much fun is it to just play with them and add different things to it, right? Like make it your own, make it look um, like make this just your base, and then you can do whatever you want with them. I think that will be enough. Yeah, I think so. I don't think I need any more. Okay. A glob of glue right there. Okay. And right there. So I have my strips of lace, and they're just loose right there. Can you imagine how hot they got in the summer? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like it would be just awful. Like so many layers of clothing, and then like, you know, you're not supposed to be walking around naked. Like that's just stupid. So I'm just going to slide this again under her arms into position where I want it. There. Now I have a mat, have a bit of a mat, and I have my gown, and I have a stylus. Well, I think so. Yeah, like that is why they fainted, like because it was so hot. Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of want to make this rounded. So I'm just going to rub over this in circular motions with my stylus, and hopefully that is going to give it a bit, like I don't know if you can see it, but it's giving it a bit of a volume. And I don't know if I have to go all the way over top. I'm just cutting the panniers down a little bit, or just a little, because it's just too wide. Yeah, so now it kind of has like, so this is the flat part, and this is the part that I've shaped a little bit. So it just falls a little rounder and nicer. Yeah, so they had like all the layers, and they had nowhere to breathe and or eat or do anything. Um, because even this, like that's their corset. Like it is, I looked behind the doll to see if there was the back of the corset showing. Yeah, don't ask. So I'm just making this, kind of giving it shape. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. That works. I don't know if it comes across, but like it is definitely, there's definitely volume in there now. The hands need to come to the front. Where are they? There we go. Ugh. And where's the other one? Right there. I have to trim the lace down a little bit because it's sticking out. Okay. I think what I want to do is I want to just put glue right here so that I can stick the top of the dress down already. And of course I stuck the glue in all the wrong spots. And then I can put the dress or the gown right on there. And then we can put the hands over top so that I am in position. There we go. There. So then I can just, when I put it down on my spread, I can just glue right here, and it keeps the volume of the gown. So that is part number one. I need the shoes, and the shoes, I'm going to do exactly how I do that with my Saturday paper dolls too. I am just taking the toes because that's all you can see anyway. It is pretty, isn't it, Sherry? Yeah, I'm very happy with this one. It just came out really nicely. So I just need glue right there. I can ink around it once it's down. Just want a little bit of the shoes to show. Make sure you put glue on the white side of the paper, not the other side. There we go. She's pretty. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't even do that when I was younger. I still do that because yeah, that's where I find my paper dolls most of the time. Like the other kind of paper dolls, the Tim Holtz kinds of paper dolls out of old Sears catalogs. I have I have access to a lot of Sears catalogs digitally, so that's what I use. That's where a lot of the paper doll ideas are coming from too, and from my pattern collection of the 1950s. So this is the hair piece, and it is pretty elaborate too. There. Sorry, I know I'm really quiet, but I'm just cutting and I'm trying to watch what I'm doing. And I'm watching the chat too. There we go. So let's give this a little ink just to hide all the boo-boos because I know they're there. So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm actually looking for a I'm looking to start a design team for the paper dolls. So if that is something that interests you, shoot me a message and let me know. So I think this goes right here. I could probably hide it just a little bit better, but it is going to be right there. It probably goes like right under the wig, like into the wig. And let's ink up those shoes. There we go. Ta-da! There's my doll. So she's not quite Marie Antoinette. And I explained that. She is not Marie Antoinette because her dress should have been about that wide if it was Marie Antoinette. It was a status thing to see how wide your cage was. The wider the skirt, the higher in standing you were, and you were never allowed to have bigger skirts than the queen. All right, so the doll is done. The paper is now mostly dry, and I did manage to make quite a mess of it. It's just about dry. I can work with it. And this one is also, yeah, except for this bubble right here. I made a mess, but that's okay. So this is going to be my wallpaper. Let me just pull this piece down. Once I glue it down, it won't be that visible anymore. There. So I think I may just glue it into my album first, so that I can flatten it all out and have it sit in the proper position. So this is my very beautiful, just about antique album. If you can tell, like it is almost falling apart. But how beautiful is this? I got this for free from a friend who was cleaning out her parents' house, and she just gave it to me. So I am using this today for the French court spread. And I think I want to use this one. I put the text paper or the book pages in here just to make the paper stronger. I have enough. I can trim everything, so that's fine. I'm just going to rip this piece of the bottom. And it's rice paper, so I prefer to tear it than to cut it. It is easier. There. And I'm going to cut this out. And then I'll take a piece of this and stick it behind here, and then it'll be almost, once I glue it down, it'll be almost invisible. So I'll do that first. So I'm just going to put some glue right along the hole that I managed to make. You know, it happens. And then I can put that right there onto the other one. Grab my bone folder and kind of carefully put it into position. And it's okay that the glue comes out a little bit. There. There we go. Not nearly as visible as it was. And then I can, let's see, I have this much. So I'm just going to kind of edge it right here, like that. And that is the top of my page. And the rice paper just forms very easily. Do I need all of it? No. I can just go around here. So I could measure all of this, but why would I want to do that? So I'm just kind of doing a half-ass measure, and I am going to grab scissors right now because I am afraid that this might rip. So as much as I don't want to cut it, I will. That's one side. And then if I put it here, then I put my finger right there. So this is going to be some minute fell into the wall. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, you won't be able to see very much of it by the time I'm done. So yeah, you can see it right now, but once it is all glued down and I've done all the effects with it, it'll be completely gone, I think. So I'm just cutting that right on the edge as close as I can get it. Is it going to be straight? Oh God, no. Okay. So I am going to grab my fast grab tacky glue. And I'm just going to go right along the edge at the top here and the sides. Because I want to paint over it again, so I need the glue to dry fairly quickly. I'm just going to go and trying to go around all the holes in the background for that you can stick pictures into. I'm just repurposing this whole photo album, and it's like definitely an antique photo album. It is so old. I don't use the term antique very easily. I prefer to use vintage, but I am sure this is a late 1920s, early 30s photo album. So then I am going to just stick this right in here, like that. There we go. And I'm going to grab my bone folder and just make sure that it is nice and flat and tight. Whoops, don't do that. Okay, she is attached. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with this side. So here, someone just ripped the paper right off the wall. Need to take a little bit off the bottom and a little bit off the top, and then I'm just sticking it down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it even easier on myself. I'm just going to put the glue on here, and then I'll stick the paper or the rice paper into the glue, and then I'll cut it off, because I think that is going to make way more sense. And this stuff dries really nice and quick, so ugh, it is a little thicker than the regular glue, so that's why I'm using 2 hands to do this. There we go. I think that will do. So I'm just going to stick this right here as close to the center as I can. Keep the paper as tight together as I can. There we go. So what are we all working on today? Corey, are you working on something? Are you still here? Sherry, are you working on something today? Well, so they actually, yeah, I think there was no crotch in their pants. So they just kind of just let go, I think. I believe that's what I was always told, because I've asked those questions. Because you don't see bathrooms anywhere, but it was chamber pots. Um, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't. Or they would get the maid to quickly go get the chamber pot, and it would go under the dress. And then, I don't know. Just need to fix the little tear that I made right here. Right there. That worked. That actually worked. I have a little bit left here. Do I want to put it right there? No. Not that concerned about what the background looks like. I am and I'm not. Mainly because I'm going to put stuff over top of it anyway. So. Lots of bladder infections. Yeah, probably lots of bladder infections. You're working on altered books. Sherry, have you ever cooked a book or boiled a book? Or, yeah, anybody, have you ever boiled a book? I'm wanting to do that, but I'm really scared to do it. Okay, so I have my background in here now. Now, this is flat and kind of boring, right? Even though like there's lots of texture in here, but it is kind of boring. So what I want to do is I have some gloss gel medium, and I have somewhere a piece of Yeah, well, I want to do that, but I don't want like I don't know if I can do it on camera. That's the thing. I want to do it where you're kind of like taking an old book and you're just stuffing it full of stuff, leaves and flowers and die cuts and doilies and everything, and then you spray paints in it and oxide sprays and whatever else you can think of. I would probably put my infusions in it too. And then you put a pot, an old pot. You put water in it with vinegar, and then you put like metal pieces, rusty metal pieces in there, so that the rust will change the water. And then you boil the book, and that's kind of what I want to try. So yeah, that's that's just something I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, but I don't know. So I'm hoping someone has done it before and can go, oh, that's so easy. Because I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to start with it. So I'm grabbing a narrow, um, flat paintbrush. And I have an even narrower one. So it's a flat paintbrush. And I'm going to pick up some of the gloss medium and I want to do lines. Now, I could use a ruler, I could use tape and paint the inside of the tape, but I don't want to. I just want to do it freehand. So it's going to be wonky lines so that I kind of get a glossy design against that flat background. Every time I'm working on one project, I'm already thinking of what I want to do next, of the next project. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. I like it. I've seen it be done. I just haven't tried it myself. And you can see it's this actually I can actually see it on the screen. It's coming out really nicely. Like I can see the gloss. Can you guys hear all the quads coming through? I live right on the edge of the town. And so yesterday when I came home, there was a fawn, no, a doe with two fawns. It's like it was a fawn. Yeah, no, there was two fawns and mom, and they were just eating grass in my yard, which is, is there anything better than that? So I'm trying to do this as fast as I dare because I don't want to go and make a mess. So I never use gloss medium because I just prefer matte medium. But I have this gloss because it was on sale at Michael's one day for like $5, so I had to buy it, and then I didn't know what to do with it. So Then this week I was trying to figure out how I was going to put this page together. And I came up with what would happen if I did this. So I tested it. I was like, that's perfect. And it actually looks really neat with the hand, like not totally straight stripes. I think one more. There, that's one side. And I will do the other side as well, because may as well. I'm not sure if that was my plan, but it is now. You could do this with iridescent medium too. It would look really pretty as well. So the creating of the page is like of the spread is actually super easy. The like and quick. Once you have all the pieces together, it just comes together. But it is the background most of the time that takes the most work because you're trying to figure out what you're going to do and is that going to work and how am I going to put that together and then if you're recording it like this, then you also have to practice it because what if it doesn't work? Now, if you've seen my lives before, you know that I practice very, very little. I usually just wing it, but I practiced this time and did. So, yeah, I practiced. This is my practice. It's beautiful, but yeah, it's nowhere near what this will turn into. And I think when I put my paint order in, I'm going to have to get more claret because I'm just about out. And how many paper doll people do we have here today? Do that watch the Saturday paper dolls all the time? I just want to know if I should give you guys a little advance notice or a little sneak information. Let me know if you want some. So last week I did the graduation doll and I thought she was really cute. So that is actually so the three colors, the navy blue and the navy blue, the green, and the burgundy is actually the three high schools in my city. So that is where that comes from. The paper doll video tomorrow morning, I release it somewhere between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. my time, or a.m., sorry, a.m., a.m. my time. And I can't give you an exact um, time because I usually have trouble uploading. I know I should be way more proactive with uploading, but well, yeah, it just doesn't happen. Um, the full time job takes up a little bit more time than what it should. So I don't always have time to um, schedule the uploads. So they're usually, I finish them, I finish editing, and then I just finish editing and I upload it. And then I publish it. So it goes pretty quick. Okay, so here we go. That's, oh, I just stuck my fingers in there. So there is that actually looks really cool. I like it. I do, I like it. So by putting um, the rice paper on here and the book pages, I have reinforced these really old um, photo album pages. So now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but right here there is like all the black, kind of black, it's actually walnut stain um, areas. And that's what I want to do. I also want to like put a little bit of gold paint along the edge to cover up the icky edges where I don't have any red paint, because I think my red paint is pretty much empty. Is it? Let's just see. Where did I put? Let's put this right here. If I can get just a little bit more, maybe I can just cover up the edges there so they're not so icky. It's pretty empty. There, that's much better. Much, much better. Same for here. I'll just lift this up. So what I'm using is a piece of overhead transparency. To put the paint onto. There. And then maybe right here in the center too, just to cover up all the white. And then I think I have most of it covered. Good enough. Okay. It will dry. It's not, thankfully, paper artsy paint dries super fast. Okay, so the way that I made this is I used, that's the wrong bottle, and this is the right bottle. So I used my paper artsy infusions, and this is just walnut. You see it, it says that, just walnut. So there's no color in it, it is just walnut stain. I've also put some of that in my water, so I now have walnut stain water. And I have a stencil right here with a giant damask pattern. And I'm going to put that right here. And let's see. Probably like that. And what I want to do is I'm just going to sprinkle some of the infusions in here. Now you can also do this with paint. Like, well, you can't sprinkle the paint, but you can stencil paint through here, right? So then you just get a stencil on top of everything else. And what I want to do now is just take the walnut stain that I've already made and just spray this over the infusions, just walnut. And then I'm going to set my heat gun on it for a moment so that it's not so wet. Did it do what I wanted it to do? Somewhat. But I'll do it again because I do want to have both sides looking equally bad, maybe. This one will lay a little flatter than that one did, so that's okay. Maybe I'll do it the other way around and I'll spray the walnut stain first. See if that works better. And then I'll sprinkle the extra walnut in there. Just want it to be just dark. Okay. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I have another piece of rice paper. I'm just going to put it over top so I can take the top layer off the stencil and it'll just give me a design. Oops, that's actually really pretty. And I will put the heat gun over it again for a bit. Sorry, I hate using the heat gun during the lives, but I have to in this situation. And we'll just lift this off and put it somewhere where it can't do any harm. There we go. All right. I just need some of the water to evaporate. That's all I'm trying to do right now. Okay. So it has somewhat of a damask design in it, not overly. So I'm just going to grab my towel. I'm just carefully grabbing all those little water spots because I don't want them. I have most of the ink on here now, and I can kind of like, if you move the paper around a little bit, because it's kind of shimmering from the light, so you can see, let's see, it's not working better. You can see the damask design through the page. There we go. So even originally I had wanted to use the claret and stencil with that, but because I am pretty much out, I don't want to take that chance. So I decided that I was just going to use the walnut stain and do that. But look at this. Look how beautiful this turned out. That's gorgeous. All right, my hands are beautifully dirty again, and I've got glue all over them. Shocking. Okay, so my next thing is I need some lace on the page. And to get some lace, I want to use I have these doilies. I don't know if this is the whole thing, if it's that thick, or if I have a double layer of them here. I think this is the whole thing. Like, this is a pretty sturdy doily, so I have two of them, but I don't know if I want to use two of them. If I put one right there and one right there, then I keep it kind of symmetrical. And I want to edge this with a little gold paint. So out comes my piece of overhead transparency and a lot of gold paint. Oops. And okay, don't laugh. I'm going to use my finger. So I just want to put gold paint right on the edge. And the easiest way to do that is with your finger, because then you can control it just a little bit better. And the Paper Artsy Gold paint is absolutely amazing. If you have never tried it, you need to. I'm sure there is a store near you. They definitely, like, you can buy online. You can buy pretty much anything these days. I'm pretty sure Simon Says Stamp has it. And scrapbook.com might have it as well. So I just want this to be a super rich page. Because when you walk into the chateaus, the colors are rich. Color was expensive, so people were using color because that was a status symbol. just like the width of your skirt. Yeah, out of all the gold paints I've ever had, this is by far the most beautiful gold paint. And it just transforms this doily. Do you see that? Like, it's just not just a plain doily anymore, which it wasn't a plain doily as it is. But that little gold edge just elevates it just that little bit more. There. It's not quite dry yet. So let these dry for a moment. And I'm now just getting everything, all the bits and pieces ready so that I can carry on. Ugh. Okay. The other thing I have is I have more of this lace right here, but I have some wider lace as well. I have this lace. Come on. It's in my drawer here, and it's stuck in the drawer. So I have another piece. So that's one piece, and then I need one more. There. These can go dry over here for a moment so that they're out of my way. So what I want to do is I want to put lace right here at the top. And I need my scissors right here. There. Put that at the top. Oops. Put this at the top here, and look at that, it's even lining up. There we go. This side goes here, this side goes here. And we'll just glue it down. 3-in-1 glue will probably work a little bit better. So I'm doing that pretty easily. Just going along and giving it a good bit of glue so that this will stick. And then glue right here. Just like that. And I like the contrast of the deep burgundy with the cream lace. And I'm just going to, oops, cut this piece off right here. think I need, oh, sorry, that piece was stuck to my fingers. I think I need a little glue right here to have these pieces stay down, because otherwise they'll constantly move up and down, and then I'm not going to be happy. There we go. Okay, Sherry. It's gonna go like this will be on my channel anyway. Like it'll stay there. Next I grabbed everything and I put it around me, and do you think I can find it now? No, of course not. That would be way too easy. Oh, it's right here. So I have some burgundy trim, and I wanted to put the trim right along there as well. But I'm not sure if I like that. But I don't think I like that. I may just put the trim right along the edge of the page. That would look better. And then right there. And my 3-in-1 glue. I may have to use some clips to clip it down, because now it is getting to be pretty heavy material. So okay. Let's get it right on the edge. Just like that. There. And that one is attached. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to put this aside just to let it dry for a moment. And let's see how we're coming along with the gold. It needs just a few more minutes. So I'll put this aside too for a moment. And I want to make a wax seal. So I'm actually quite prepared for that. I have some burgundy beads. And I'm just going to use 2 burgundy. I'm going to use 2 gold and 2 rose gold. There we go. And I have a pretty wax or a pretty seal that has birds on it. So just sticking that together. There. And I need something that I can put the wax seal on where it's not going to stick to it. I have a silicone mat. Do you think I know where I've put it? Not a clue. So it's okay. I'm just going to do it on a piece of plastic. My piece of overhead projection. I have another piece, I think. Yep. Right here. So I'll just make it on there. Oh. And I just want to melt them all. And I like to kind of stir them inside the spoon so that they kind of blend together right in there. Because I printed off a French document on gold parchment paper. So I'm just going to fold that. I'm going to fold it backwards. That. And like that. And then we'll fold it in half. It should work. Fold it in half and then fold this in. And this in. And we fold it one more time. And I'm going to stick it under that flap. There we go. That's my idea of how those letters were folded. Is that the right way? Probably not, but you know, for what I'm trying to do, it works. And this parchment paper I got at a thrift store for like $2. Okay. So I think I can probably put this straight onto here and then like seal it exactly like how they would have sealed it way back when. Okay. This is nicely done. So let's just pour this on here. And make sure that the birds are sitting straight up. And I'm just putting them in there. And that should work. Keyword, it should work. Is it going to work? I don't know. I really don't know. But it just needs to cool off now. Can probably pour just a little bit more right there. I know, I shouldn't be playing with it like that. Okay. So that can just sit like that. We're getting there. It's not quite. Stick my finger in there. Excuse me. So I have a pile of things here. I have a little bit more. Oh, shoot. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now we're making a mess. Okay. So I have a piece of corrugated cardboard, but look at the beautiful color that it is. It is gold. And I have a whole bunch of things that are actually from my stash from the Loire Valley. And I have some slides that I printed some chateaus on. So I have Chenonceau, I have Ussé, this is Ussé, this is Chambord, and this is Chenonceau, right here. So I've stuck those in there, and so I want to, with a piece of ribbon, attach them and kind of make them an edge. Oh my goodness, I thought I had my ribbon, but it doesn't want to participate. There we go. Found it. So I have cream colored velvet ribbon. And I guess I can put these aside. I know what they look like. Now the funny thing is this, I've put Chenonceau upside down in the slide, I think, but that's okay. I think I can still fix that. Maybe, maybe not. Because all I did was I printed it off, printed the images off on overhead transparency. And if you're looking at it, you can see like the ink kind of bled. So they're not perfect anymore, but that's okay. Okay, got it. Right there. Put it upside down. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the idea that we have the slide. So that's 1, 2. This one is also upside down. Way to go. I was really paying attention when I was doing this. So all I did was a piece of transparency and then I put tape behind it and I stuck it behind there. The other thing I have is this a ticket, and this ticket actually came from Chambord. This is my handwriting when I was a teenager. Then I have some brochures. I have a wine label. I have this is the brochure from Chenonceau. So that is what the chateau looks like. And you can see it has the images of what the rooms look like. And this is another piece of it. I think there was a map attached to it, and I took the map out for another project and used it already. So this is just all the different rooms. Then this is also Chenonceau, and this is outside. And this is like, so it's actually like a bridge over the Loire. Is this dry? This is dry or cooled off. And it has a little birdie in there. And I want to color that bird up a bit. Maybe if I knew where I'd put my wax seal stuff. Oh no. Okay, I just want to gild it up a little bit so that you can see the bird. I could have put some ribbon in there. That would have also looked really authentic, but I'm just going to get lit up a bit. So I'm just rubbing some gold over the birds. And on the edge, just to shine it up just a little bit. If you're saying I can't see the birds, no, you would be correct. Yeah, you would be correct. They are there, but they're pretty faint. It's not a very deep etching of a bird. I was trying to make it like a really pretty stamp thing, and it didn't work at all because it's just not deep enough. But you'll see, like, it will hold. It's pretty. It looks official. Put that aside. Put that aside. This can go in. That's ready. This is all going to be pocket stuffer stuff. And then on top of that, I have, where did I put it? Did I put it aside? I have a little bag that you would get postcards in. Oh, right here. So it also has a Visiter le Château de Montreuil-Bellay. So this is also from the Loire Valley, and it's Saumur, Montreuil-Bellay, Chinon, Poitiers, Angers. Like all these cities all have chateaus. So I thought that would be cool to use as well in here as like a flip pocket. So that's where we're at right now. I need to attach these to the ribbon. So I want to just take a piece of ribbon, lay it down, and I want to lay it down as straight as I can. And then take a second piece of ribbon and lay it down as straight as I can. And I'm grabbing my 3-in-1 glue. And I'm going to glue all the way along the edge of this one. Like that. And I'm going to stick it trying to get it to go straight. Right there. And then I'll take the second one. Oh, thanks, Smurf B. You know, like we all do different things, and it just depends on what you have in your stash. I just happen to have some really neat things that I've found over the years, so I am just using everything that I have. But other people have other things, so they use different things. This one goes right there. And then this one. Now you can say like, oh well, that doesn't match the page or anything like that. Well, it does. In a way, it does because um, it is like it's kind of like a memory page, right? Like this is stuff that I have had in my stash since I was a teenager. I'm a little past teenager now. So I'm going to try and get it a same distance as the other one. There we go. So it just needs to sit and dry for a moment. The glue here must be dry by now. Yeah. Scissors go away. Let's see if I can pick this up. Okay. So what I want to do is put this pretty much like, if I can get it to go like that, that would be cool, because then I can just leave it hanging. But I have nowhere to attach it to, so I may have to, you know what I can do? I had grabbed these already, so if I were to just grab two little brads, just want to make sure I have the same colors here. Yep. And then I have my really messy piece here that I need to put somewhere else because it's going to fall and then I'm going to have paint everywhere. I need my owl to punch a couple of holes. I have my owl right here, and then put it right there. It's like, yeah, and then I started cleaning up and now I don't know where I put it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to poke a hole through here and put this through. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Right there. And put that through. Right there. Let's hold it right there. It's pretty close to the edge, but that's okay. Stick that down. There, and I'm going to put a little tape over that so it doesn't come apart, because that would not be cool. Piece of tape. I'm just going to put a little glue underneath the tape so the tape will not come off. Maybe if the glue wants to come out. Stick the tape on there. And then it is protected. And it is stuck. There we go. Ha! That worked. Is it straight? Oh God, no. Well, that's awkward. How am I going to fix that? kind of pull the... Okay. I'm going to have to take this back off. And I have to lower this just a little bit so that it is straight and flat. Did that work? No, because you have to make it higher. Sheesh. Okay. Now it should sit properly? No. Of course not. That would make way too much sense. So I'm trying to do something. It's not working. Now I've destroyed the whole page. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave this side. And I am going to pull this back out. Okay. Put this here. This needs to be right there. So I'm going to put my brad through. Oh, tomorrow's paper doll is going to be so much fun, Lisa. It might be a new one. I might have found another beautiful lady to use as a paper doll. And I think the theme tomorrow is kind of fun too. It's a little different. Come on, go through there. Just for once. Cooperate with me. Do what I am asking you. There. So I'm just going to glue this down. And hopefully that'll work. But I think I have to glue the whole ribbon down. So as soon as I glue all the ribbon down, then it'll be just fine. Right there. And then I can put glue all the way along to the bottom. Like that. Just stick it in there. So I was thinking I might be able to use it as a belly band, but that's not going to happen because it is just not strong enough to do that. But I do have a pretty decoration here. And it is attached now, so. And I think I want to keep the bit of an edge hanging down. I may just grab my scissors. Sorry, I am sighing because I'm putting stuff away and then I can't find it. There. And I'm just going to glue this down too. And this down. There we go. Well, it's attached. Can we keep it there? Can we just say, okay, yes, it's attached? Okay. So now I have this pocket, and I kind of want to put this pocket right here so that it can flip-flop in between. And I think I want to put it higher so that when you're looking here, you can't see the slides. I have the tape, and I have a wider tape, so that's what I'm going to use. And this is artist masking tape. So I am going to put glue behind it to make sure that it is not going to come off at any point. Because I don't know where I put my, oh, it's right here. This is my better glue. This is paper tape, and it is medical grade paper tape, and it is super sticky. So if I put a little strip of the fast grab tacky glue right along, do I want to go up or do I want to go sideways? What do you think? Do I need to go this way or this way? Um, I have so much shit. Sideways like this? Okay. Sideways like this or sideways like this? Up or side? Sorry, Snurf me. The first way, this way. Okay. So I'm just putting some glue along there. And then I am picking up the paper tape and just putting it right along there. So it's not going to come off. That is my biggest fear always, is when I'm building stuff, is that it is going to come off. And I don't ever want that to happen. So I'm pretty liberal with my glue. So now I am going to put some glue right here on, where did I want it? Oop. Right there. So bottom is right here. Come on, glue. It's taking its sweet time making its way to the bottom. There we go. I'm just putting a bit of glue right there. And then I am folding the tape back so that I can get this, yeah, so I can get this in the fold here. Is it neat? No, didn't want to be neat. Okay, so that's in a good place now. Then I can just put some glue right here, right there, and then go all the way back to the bottom. And I can grab some more tape. Right there. And then it can flip-flop back and forth, and now it's a pocket, so it's back to being an envelope for stuff. Now it is pretty old. So that is that. Then I have my beautiful letter, and I think I want to put the letter right here as a pocket. Or I can put it right here and then it becomes a tuck. I think I may put, or I can put it right here as a tuck. Why don't I put it right there as a tuck? No, I want it there. Sorry, that was a lot of indecision. I want this as a pocket here. Do I? No. That can go in there. Done. So the doll is going there with the doily. So let's do that first. So I'm putting the doily right here with the doll. And what I'm doing is I am kind of making an edge here. So I can cut this off. There. And stick it down. Oh. And I don't need a lot of glue. Well, one, the fast grab tacky glue glues pretty quick and pretty strong. The other reason is that it's a doily. It is going to stick pretty good pretty quickly. So stick this right there. I can kind of cut the bottom of this off. I'll get it neater later, but for now, that's where I'm at. And then when I put the doll over this, that looks pretty. You know what? I don't have to glue her down. I can just stick her in here. Oh, that's a big decision, isn't it? I do think I want to put some of this on here just to break up the, so that there's some gold on this side as well. And then I have my tuck here too, right? So let's just, this is actually the cardboard that was inside the cover of this album, so it actually all belongs together. There. I just wanted it not to look, I wanted it to not look so straight. I guess fine if it goes straight on that side. I just didn't want it so straight right here. And I want some of my gold paint. Uh-oh. And I want to put a little gold paint right here on the edge of the cardboard. It just gives it that, just that little bit extra. instead of inking it with like vintage photo or something like that, I'm just edging it with gold, and it makes it look richer and more interesting. So I'm going to put this right here, and I have this little piece of the doily left, so I'm going to put that right over top of that. I do need to get rid of the gold paint off my finger. Maybe, probably won't happen. So I'm going to glue that to there. I have no idea if that's going to stick properly, but I'm going to try. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any texture paste because I just didn't get there. I just didn't even think of it anymore. I just started going, and I didn't do texture paste, which is fine. I don't need it. If you are seeing, like, it is pretty getting to be pretty full, which is perfect. And I will just stick this right here on the edge, just like that. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. So I just need to pick this up, put a little glue on the bottom and on the side here. Now we'll just turn it into a tuck right here at the side. There. I'm covering everything in gold paint. It's all good. I need to put a little bit of gold paint on my pocket here too. Oh, but you know, I do this like for like, yeah. um I'm more of an art journaler than a journaler. So to me, it is more about the background and the story that I'm telling in what I'm doing. So that is kind of the difference. But I'm sure what you're making is beautiful as well. Plus, I'm doing this on camera. I don't want to rush through it and have you guys go, well, look at the mess she just made. Like, that's, I don't know if that makes any sense. I have gold paint seriously everywhere right now. I'm sure I have it all over my glasses too. Okay. Between the gold paint and the glue, I have like pretty gross fingers. Okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do the doll? I know I want to put the pocket here. I think I want to put the doll right there. And I want to cut her hands just a little bit more nicely. So tomorrow's doll is going to be new. Well, of course it's going to be a new doll, but it's going to be like a new character, um, a new sister in the hood, and um, next week I have something planned that I think is going to be really cool. It is something very different and um, more in kind of an art journal style, kind of like a little bit. It is not pockets, it's not anything, it is really um, building something from scratch for basically for in this journal. So this album is going to be a journal, and but I want to use it as an idea journal. So use the paper dolls, the bigger paper dolls in it, and use the new idea that I have come up with in it as well. That is going to be the I will be showcasing it on Monday, and then hopefully you like it. Um, it is something I've been playing with the idea for a really long time, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to do it. And um, now that I have my head wrapped around it, it is really cool. I have the base is ready, and I just can't show you yet because it's not that far ready that I can show you what it's going to be. I can just tell you that it is going to be a system where you can use any printable that you have or any paper that you have and use it. So if you have a stash of paper, a stash of scrapbook paper that you're never using, or a stash of whatever paper that you have laying around, like we all have tons and tons of paper laying around. So this is kind of a system where you can use it for different projects, whatever you want to do with it. And because I have a huge stash of printables from, Shabby Dabby Doodah because I love her papers. There's some from Seven Plaza, even though I'm not crazy about her papers. Um, her style is very different from mine. I what else do I have? I have some scrimping mommy paper, like all kinds. But I also have lots of papers that I've dyed, gel prints, all of that. And I wanted to find, I was been thinking of some way that I could use that to do something else. So that is kind of what next week is going to be. Uh, so it is attached. I'm just not sure how well. I will figure out later how I'm going to attach the sides because I shaped the dress so that it would be a little bit more full. And now I'm not sure if I actually like that. But, it is what it is at this point. I can't change very much about it. Hmm. Where I stuck my finger in the wax is kind of messy right here. There we go. That looks better. I'm not sure if I like that right there. I could always put it like this, but then it looks so side by side. What if I make it a side tuck? Oh, that would work. That would work very well, actually. So we have this with the gold edges. That is not completely dry. So now I have more gold paint on my fingers. Let's see. I can do that. So I'll just put glue over here. And then I may have to put some, maybe some eyelets in there to get it to sit really, really tight. But I first want to glue it down. So I'm giving it a good amount of glue right there. So it's not going to come loose, and then I'll put eyelets through it. Since you can't see the birds anyway, I may as well just use it sideways, right? Okay, that needs to dry. That is attached, that is attached. So then, because then I can put all these big pieces, right? I can put one right here. And I can put one in here. And I can put this right behind there. I don't want to do that yet because the paint is not complete, or the glue is not completely dry yet. So if you can tell, there is also, with this paper doll, there's also lace. Now, I did print it, but I printed it on overhead projection. And it is white lace. So it's there, but you can't see it. So it's kind of one of those awkward things where it's there, but it's not visible. So I will use it for something else, but right now that's not usable. Oh goodness, something just happened on my screen, so I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. Okay, do you think the glue would be dry enough so that I could put eyelets in there? Let's grab some gold eyelets, right? Oh, I think I figured out something even cooler. I have these brads. Look how cool those are. Do I have two of these dark ones? I don't know if I do. Yeah, I think I do. Oh, they're all the same color. Oh, these blue ones are really pretty too. Let's add a little blue just because we can. So I can put these blue ones right there, and then that looks like jewelry. Have a good night, Smurfby. Okay, so I'm just going to poke a hole through the layers like that and put that brad through there so that it looks like jewelry on the page right there. And then I'll put another one roughly the same height. right there. Where did my other one go to now? It started rolling and it rolled somewhere. How terrible is that? I just had it. There it is. I'll just stick that down there. So then I could just take this paper and stick that behind. Definitely not, because now it is covering everything, so that doesn't work. I will. This is really, oh, this is at least 40 years old, you guys. Like, this is old paper. I'll just do it like that, and then like this. There we go. I also have this one. And do I have anything else? I have my Chambord ticket. Where did my Chambord ticket go? Because I do want to use that on here as well. But okay. It's like I don't know where I put it. I have my ticket. My ticket is going to go right there. So this is actually the ticket from when I visited Chambord. I don't know if you guys are aware, like I grew up in the Netherlands, and so every year when we would go on vacation, we would go to France, and we would go to churches and chateaus and all the museums and everything. So I've spent a few few days wandering chateaus. Now this I can ink because it doesn't need to do anything more than sit right here. Now, which one is Chenonceau? This one is Chenonceau. This one is Chambord. And this one is Ussé. Now I may have that backwards, but I can't see it, so it's gonna be good just like that. I can't see which one is what. So that one goes there, and then this one goes here. And I do want to put some gold paint on the frames, or yeah, on the slides. But I'm going to do that with a paintbrush. And let's see if this paint is still going to want to work. Probably. So I'm just kind of washing it over it. It'll just give it a bit of a shimmer, but oh no, it's not going to work. It's so plastic, it's not going to work. Okay. Grab my cloth and just wipe it off. Oops. There. I'll just leave a little bit of gold residue, but that's okay. I'm just going to glue this down to the slides. stick your fingers in the gold paint. Why don't you just do that again? How many times in one evening do you think I can stick my fingers into the gold paint without trying to? There. And right there. If I really want to, I can always put a little lace right along there, but I think it might be too much. So I'm just going to leave it alone. This goes back in there, goes there, this is there. I just need to take that back out. I want to stick this right here, and I'm just going to ink it a little bit so it looks a little bit more vintage. This is just a wine label, soaked off of a wine bottle 40 years ago. Probably more than that. Hi, Becky Ann. No, I have not given this doll a name. She is kind of like Madame de Pompadour, or like she's not Marie Antoinette, but she needs to have a French name, and maybe she can be. Oh, let's think about that. Let's call her. Why don't we call her Laurence? There's a reason for that for me, and I think that's kind of a nice name. There. This goes right there. Well, I don't know. I think I've reached the end. You know what? I don't like the label on the doll. So I'm just going to rip that right off. There. That's okay. It has some glue on it. That's okay. So there's a lot that I've done on these pages. Between all the paint, there's a lot of paint on here, and lots of sloppy paint because I'm now trying to pick the gold paint right off. So I've made the parchment paper letter with the seal. We've added the trim on the sides, and it's not sitting well there, so while I'm talking I will fix the little bits and pieces that I'm seeing. I built the doll and I put the lace on the petticoats. There. The trim, the lace at the top. We have the slides right here, which I just love using these old vintage slides, and using them in different ways and creating my own slide with the overhead projection. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like that I remembered that I had all the stuff from my vacations. So using that in here is kind of special, and it's kind of fun to use. I have an extra doily. I don't know where I'm going to stick that yet, so I'm just going to stick it right in there, or yeah, I'll just put it right there. Right there. The other bonus that I made is this. This is just, I love this. So all that was me spraying the walnut ink or the walnut infusions on my stencil. It's still right here. It's a pretty icky stencil right now. So I sprayed that all over here, and then I picked up the excess with my with a piece of rice paper, and the rice paper just bleeds perfectly to create a design like that. So I'm very happy with it. And I may just fold it and put it in here. But yeah, I am really happy with how this turned out. And I can't believe that I still have time left. So, is there any questions about any of the bits and pieces that I have created here? I can't wait to see your ball gown paper doll either, Becky. Like, you've made very, very pretty spreads, and I'm excited to share them with everybody too. So tomorrow is Paper Doll Saturday. I think you're going to like it, but you also might not. It's a little different because I just came across a bunch of images that I really wanted to use, so I created those. I made clothes, or I made clothes out of it, and um, the graduation doll spread is the other part that I've done. The, as I said earlier, there is a brand new doll tomorrow. And she's nowhere around me, so I can't even be tempted to share with you what she looks like. But she is inspired by Joan Collins in the 50s. I am working on another new one, and that one is based on Audrey Hepburn from the 50s. Um, so last week was Grace Kelly. This week will be Joan Collins, and next week or the week after will be Audrey Hepburn. And then I have a whole bunch of dolls that I can play with. There might be a few more new ones, but I haven't thought of those yet. So this is where I am at for today. This is all dry. This is all attached now. I don't know if anybody else does that too, but once you finish, like, you're just going to go like, oh yeah, that's not completely glued down yet. So I need to put a little bit more glue in there so that it's not going to go anywhere. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Just fixing the little bits and pieces that are not completely attached. And especially where I have like lace, the trim over lace, you're going to need more glue than what I have there. I could use hot glue, but I really don't like using hot glue. I end up burning myself. There. And again, if you are interested in being on my design team, um, I am looking for someone. I'm looking for maybe two people. Um, and you don't need to have a YouTube channel. If you have an Instagram or a TikTok or Facebook, like that is perfect. If you can share um, your creations, the things that you create with either the paper dolls or with my other kits, and you share it, and I will supply you with the kits and the dolls and whatever I come up with. And yeah, I just want to showcase other people from my community and have them show the different things that you can do with the dolls, that they don't all have to be the same. Everybody has a different idea of how you use them. So that's kind of where I am, the direction that I'm thinking. So if you're interested, let me know. Um, I am fairly easy to find. So my Facebook page is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou, and then the Facebook group is Mary Lou's Creative Circle, where there is no, we're not selling anything. I am not selling anything. I prefer if nobody else sells anything there either. It is really a place to share your projects. So if you have not checked that out yet, or if you haven't asked to join it yet, please do. It is. I'm trying to make it a fun place where we can work with the prompts, we can work with the paper dolls, we can work with spreads, and maybe learn from each other. That's where I am wanting to get to. I think I am going to wrap it up early today because I'm done. I don't have a lot to tell you other than what I just did tell you. I was trying to figure out what is right here on. Oh, that's my book. Um, so this is going to be a journal where I am going to be doing these big spreads, and because I think this journal is perfect for it. It is it is an antique book, antique photo album, and it's not happy right now with me. So it's an antique photo album, and I can't make it really, really bulky. You see that? Like I only have so much room. Right now it's seeming bulky because of the brads here, so that's holding it back. But other than that, there isn't anything bulky here. The book is almost falling apart, so little by little I am reinforcing it. I am trying to keep it back into, put it all back into place. But this is going to be my own journal. This is not going to be one that I am planning on selling anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you're here and you're watching, I so appreciate it. I really love it. Um, every week there's a couple more people that are joining in, and I think that is lovely. And I like to chat with you guys, so I get it. If you're watching on TV, then you can't chat, but just quickly pop on, say hi, and then I know that you're watching, and I am recognizing names I've gotten there, so I love it. I'm very happy with my community. You guys are awesome. I hope you have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Paper Doll Saturday. Sunday is nothing. Monday is I'm going to try and get my brand new project out to you guys. So watch for that. It does have to do with eventually paper dolls, but that is not what it is actually designed for. I have a few ideas that I can do with it though. So You'll have to just check it out. I may do that next Friday, where I am using my new, um, the new system that I'm developing. Um, I may do that next Friday. So have a wonderful rest of your Friday evening, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Bye.